You're listening to Product Biz Made Easy. This is episode 20, and today we're talking to Holly Gillen from Holly G Studios. Oh my goodness, she shared so many golden nuggets of information and so much wisdom with us on how to get your business visible with video, so I hope you stick around.
Welcome to the Product Biz Made Easy podcast, where we help you scale your product-based business. Your award-winning host and serial entrepreneur, Becky J. Anderson, created an 8-figure product-based brand that was sold all over the world and in big box retail stores. Each week, she will be sharing sales strategies, marketing advice, or inspiring interviews to help you scale your product-based business. Now, on to the show.
Welcome to the podcast, Holly.
I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me on, Becky.
Oh, I'm thrilled to have you because this is one of the questions I get asked over and over and over again. How do I do video, or how do I overcome the fear of video? And you are the expert of taking us from fearful to fearless on both sides of the camera. So we're thrilled to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I could talk about video all day.
Yeah, that's good. That's because you're good at it. That's your thing. So I'm excited to learn from you too, because I have fear of live video myself, like Instagram stories and stuff. I am just nervous as can be on that.
You know, getting over those nerves comes with time. To be honest, when I actually started my video journey, having come from a professional video production background, but always being behind the camera, when I started my business and I decided that I was going to teach people the skills that I had acquired through years of professional production experience, I realized I was going to have to be the face of my business and put myself in front of the camera. And I was like, whoa, this is not as easy as I thought it was going to be. And I totally locked myself in a room and just kept making videos until it wasn't uncomfortable anymore. And I had this epiphany through that process where it was just like, okay, this feeling I'm feeling, this nervousness, this uncomfortableness, this out of body experience I have every time I look into the camera is not something that's negative. And it's something that I want to make positive. This is me growing from the inside out because I'm doing something that I've never done before that is pushing me outside of my comfort zone. And I want to embrace that. And when I had this epiphany, I was like, this is, of course, you can't get good at anything until you actually do it. You have to learn through experience and by actually taking action. And I went on, that experience led me to go on to create a 30-day video challenge back in January of 2014 that just changed the trajectory of my business.
So you kind of did it for you. You know what? Speaking of your business, tell our listeners about your business first before we really dig in.
Sure. So basically, the name of my company is Holly G Studios, and I empower online entrepreneurs to go from confused to confident and fearful to fearless on both sides of the camera. I do this by working one-on-one with you. We just determine what your video goals are, what your agenda is, and then I help you through your journey by teaching you the skills that you need to create what I call business cinema, which is video with a plan, a purpose, a system, and a strategy. And then I also have a online course that is like a live experience. I walk you through live all of the different phases of business cinema and production so that you can start creating, pro level videos for yourself, and just lots of other fun ways. You can go on over to Holly Studios and check it out.
Awesome. And I'll put all that in the show notes so they can find you. So that'll be cool. So you were nervous in the beginning yourself then?
Absolutely. I'm still a human being. And I was like, extra pressure, I am supposed to be a professional over here. So how is it going to look if I'm all nervous and my videos look all crappy? I'm like, nobody's going to take me seriously, right? So I was like, every video, every word, and every video has to be perfect. And that couldn't have been further from the truth, because I realized later on that, people can't relate to perfection. And when I am in a position where I'm teaching people how to use video and they're looking at my videos it's so unattainable. How could I ever create videos like that? And that's not what I wanted to. That's not the image I wanted to portray.
Yeah. Well, one of the common things that I hear all the time is, I'm so afraid of being judged by people I know. And I'm also afraid of people thinking I'm not expert enough to be talking about what I'm talking about. Do you hear that a lot?
all the time. And I thought those same things, but a little less on the people judging me. Cause I honestly, I don't care if you don't like it, don't look. That's my opinion on that.
Right.
But as far as having this imposter syndrome, because I was looking up to people who were ahead of me. So I'm thinking, but I'm teaching people who don't know 1% of what I know. And I was not looking at it from that perspective. And I was looking at all of the stuff I didn't know. And I was thinking oh my God, people are going to think I'm a fraud or I'm a phony because there's all this stuff that I want to learn still about, production and equipment and technique and all of these things, because I am a constant, learner. I will never stop learning. But it held me back a little bit because I was like, people are going to think I don't know what I'm talking about, when that couldn't be further from the truth. You are an expert with what you know. You have, expertise that no one else has, because no one else has lived the life that you've lived. Nobody else has experienced the things that you've experienced, and no one else is you.
That's very good and very true.
Yeah.
Very true. So basically the way to get over the fear is just stepping into it and doing it, trying it.
Into it and doing it. Yeah. It's like riding a bike. I always say video is like riding a bike. The first time you get on a bike, you don't know what the hell you're doing. And you're like, oh my God, I hope I don't fall off and smash my face. But you have training wheels. Maybe you have somebody standing behind you like me to help guide you along the way, until all of a sudden you're like, well, this is fun. And you're popping wheelies down the street. But until you actually get on the bike, you can think about the bike. You can read books about how the bike works. You can watch videos about how to ride a bike. But until you actually get on the bike and start riding the bike, you're never going to know how to ride a bike.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. So then the next thing is once you decide, okay, I'm going to do it and I'm going to test it out. But the next excuse, I don't have a fancy camera. I don't have equipment. What do you say to that?
That's a stumbling block. It's an excuse, is right. It is an excuse that people hang their hat on to procrastinate. Yeah. I'm calling you out. You are procrastinating. Stop procrastinating and get on your horse, which is your video horse, and just
I love it. Your horse. I love it.
Get on your horse and giddy up. There is no excuse. You have a camera within 3 feet of you right now that shoots HD video. I can guarantee it.
Your phone. That's right. The phone is the perfect one.
The video on your computer, whatever, man. You have a camera. I know you do.
Yeah. And you know what's so funny? It's start where you are with what you have. So a few years ago, I decided, okay, I'm going to do a YouTube channel. So I had seen a video from Denise Duffield-Thomas, and you know how big she is.
Yes.
And she did a video on how she does her videos. And she just did it on photo booth on her Mac computer. And I'm like, I have a Mac computer. I'm going to try that. And the funny thing is, I did it. I haven't posted a video in a year. I need to get back to doing weekly regular videos. But just from doing those little videos that I shot on my Mac computer, YouTube is still one of the top things on my Google Analytics that sends people to me. And I'm like, those videos are so cheesy. They're so bad. I look back, I cringe. I want to take them down, but I'm like, they're driving me so much traffic,
You should look back on your old videos and cringe. Everybody should. But you need to get started. Just like you said, Denise, the difference between somebody who's not getting started and Denise was like, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
No excuses. This is bullshit. I'm just going to do it.
Right. Right. And
that's the difference.
Just do it. And so it's amazing what you can do just so simply, and I still look back and go, I can't believe it. But one of my mentors told me, remember the song, Don't Worry, Be Happy?
Yeah.
Don't worry, be crappy. Just put it up, because action is better than no action.
Absolutely. So action is the cure for your fear. You need to take action to gain the experience, so that you have that experience under your belt, so that you feel more confident and comfortable moving forward. And that's also what's going to allow you to be more of who you are in real life on camera.
Very true. Very true. And if you don't take action, you never get results. So very true. Okay. So what platforms would you suggest they start with? If somebody was starting, they don't have any video out, especially product-based people, talking about their products or talking about how to sell their products or product knowledge. What do you think the best platforms for them to start with?
The first thing to consider is A, where's your audience?
Okay.
Right. B, where do you want to hang out? Right. Because if my audience is on Twitter, but I hate Twitter, I don't know. you have to enjoy what you're doing, right?
Right.
So you first and foremost, where is everybody? And then what do you want to do?
Right. I like
Those
that.
are the two key questions to ask. And then, because you don't want to focus on everything and you don't want to just be everywhere because everybody's like, oh, you should be everywhere. No, you shouldn't.
Too hard.
You're gonna overcomplicate it. You want to start off simple and then expand, just like with the equipment. You want to start off with what you have and then grow and expand as you start to grow and expand your experience. Same thing with the platform. Start with one that you want to use, that you like hanging out on, and that your audience is going to be on.
Yeah. So do you think YouTube is a good place to start?
YouTube is a great place to start if your goal is to attract a new audience.
Okay.
Right. So YouTube, everybody starts with 0 subscribers on their channel. There's no built-in audience there. Right.
Right.
So it is a great way to attract new people. And because at the end of the day, YouTube is a search engine, you are creating videos to capture search results.
Right.
So you're optimizing your metadata. You're creating video content that is going to capture new audience members.
Yeah. What about IGTV? Is that a good one?
It really just depends on what your goals are. IGTV is great if you do already have that built-in audience because you can't search on IGTV, right?
Okay.
So it is a good place to create content if you have kind of like that audience, or the audience already kind of following you on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you do videos mostly?
YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah.
YouTube, Instagram. I used to have a Facebook Live show that I ran for a long time, and then I kind of got away from that. I may get back to that in the future, but I really am enjoying creating Instagram stories right now. It's kind of where I like to hang out on a daily basis. And then for more, I wouldn't say like put together, because Instagram's super informal for me. Like Instagram stories is super informal. I'm usually like no makeup, hair in a ponytail, just kind of sharing like the behind the scenes, real deal, like what's happening, day to day, moment to moment inside of my business. Whereas my YouTube channel is more, pre-recorded, professionally produced, scripted, content that is delivering immense value for my audience.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you always done stories from the start, or is that something you've worked into?
I think it's something that I've worked into. I do it almost daily now, whereas when I first started, it definitely was not daily. It wasn't consistent, and I think I've gotten better with it over time. I've really invested time, energy, and money into educating myself on how to use Instagram stories better for my business.
I watch your stories, so you're very good at it. So
thank you.
You're attracting attention. See, so do you think one form of video is better than another, like live versus pre-recorded?
It really depends on your agenda and your goals. You use them for different reasons. Just like you create content, I always tell people when you're creating a video, you don't want to copy and paste your video on every single platform, because that makes no sense. It's like literally going to a gas station in a ball gown. Why would you do that?
Right.
It makes no sense, right? So a video I'm creating specifically for YouTube, I don't take that and paste it over into Facebook, because that's not how my plan works. I create complementary content, is what I like to say. Yeah. Create complementary content respecting each platform. Like everybody's hanging out on different platforms for different reasons. And you want to make sure that you're taking that into consideration and respecting that platform.
Yeah. Well, I need to get brave and step into the stories. I just haven't done it. I just have issues with that. I'm one of the fearful people. I think it's because it's just live, and it's like, oh my gosh, I have to look perfect. I have to say
that's so. First of all, there's so many filters. Please, you can put makeup on in an instant on Instagram stories. You don't even need to put for real makeup on. The other thing is sometimes I'll record a story like 3 times because I'll mess it up. It's not live.
So you can delete it right away. Yeah.
Yeah. You can just if you like messed it up or you said something you didn't want to say, you just delete it. You don't have to post it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So then that leads me to my next question. What do people know what to post? How do they come up with a strategy for video?
To post on Instagram or
video, just video in general,
I say here's my advice on that. It is, I always tell people, if you don't know the answers to these 4 questions, stop making videos immediately. And they are what I call the 4 pillars of pre-production.
Okay.
Why, who, what, and how. So why are you making video in the first place? Why is it important? Why does anybody care? Why should anybody care? Why do you care? Right? Because video is a long-term strategy. It's not something like, very few people make a video and it just goes viral and they're like instantly internet famous, right? That doesn't happen. It's a long-term strategy. You have to continually and consistently create content. So you need to know why you're doing it, so that when you're like, this is taking forever, you can go back and look like, okay, I know why I'm doing this. I know why it's important to me. I know why it's important to my business. And I know why I'm going to stay focused on this goal.
Right. Do you do like an editorial calendar where you go, this is my theme for the month and I'm going to talk about these different things each week? Would you? Yeah,
I reverse engineer my content. So that's, part of my purposeful plan and my pre-production that I do with all of my video content, which I can talk about in a second. Happy to talk about that.
Yeah.
So back to the second pillar, which is who. So if you know why you're making the video, you need to know who you're making that video for. So who is the audience? Who's going to be watching the video on the other side? And why do they care? And the other reason why it's important to think about who's watching this is because when you get to what, you want to create content that is going to resonate with that who. That is also taking care of the why. So why you're making the content, who you're making the content for, then what is that content? And when you create this content, you want to make sure, like if you have multiple audiences, like for me, I have multiple audiences. I have my rising stars, I have my leading ladies, and I have my celebrity A-listers. Now, people who are celebrity A-listers, I'm going to talk to a little bit differently than I'm going to talk to my rising stars. Rising stars are people who haven't necessarily made any videos yet, but they're thinking about it. So they're kind of like in that place, whereas opposed to the celebrity A-listers maybe have 300 videos under their belt and they're looking to kind of make things, to upgrade things a little bit, right? So it's completely different mindset and things that are going on for those two different audiences. So you want to keep that in mind. You don't want to use language and jargon that will confuse them. Like if you're the professional, you know your stuff inside and out. Somebody who's just getting started, if you're making videos for people who are just getting started, you have to meet them where they are. So understanding and identifying who that person is, then creating the content, which is actually going to resonate with that particular person. So that's the what. And then if you know why, who, and what, but you don't know how you're actually going to get it all done, you're never going to do it, right? So you need to consider, what equipment do you have? What can you borrow? What do you need to rent? What's your time budget? How much time do you have to devote to, creating video for your business? Also, what's your financial budget? Did you want to bring people on to help? Do you need to invest in working with somebody like me who can help you create videos faster and easier and on a much more professional level? Or do you want to invest in hiring an editor or a VA to do some of the, things that you don't need to be doing?
Yeah, that's good advice. That makes sense. So do you have any tips for product-based business owners on how to do video and that? You said that you had some information that would help.
Yeah, I have the 5 essential elements of a great product video. And I'm glad we just talked about the 4 pillars of pre-production, because this is very similar, my tips that I'm giving on, producing a great product video. So why? First one is why. Yeah. Why are you making this video? So what are your video goals around the video? Understanding why will help you create the right video for the right audience, right? Some examples of why could be you want to build brand awareness or product awareness. You want to generate new leads or sales for a specific product. Or you just want to educate people about what the product does, explaining, some of the features of the product. So depending on what your video goals are, this is going to help you trying to figure out everything else, right? The second element is who. So identifying that target audience. Who should be watching this video and why do they even want to watch? Why should they even care about this video?
Yeah.
These are questions that will help narrow down your focus of the video. So here are some ways that you can identify who this target audience is. So if you have a customer support or sales team, these people are talking to your customers all day. Ask them, what your audience wants. they should have their finger on the pulse of what everybody's talking about. The other thing you can do is talk to actual customers. Talk to your customers. Ask them why they're using your product over a competitor. Ask them what they like most about it and or how they are using the product. You may be surprised.
They can probably get some of those tips from their Amazon reviews or
I was just going to say that's the next tip is like take a look around.
Yeah.
What are people talking about behind your back?
Yeah.
What are people saying about your product? You just need to tap into it and take a look. The other thing is this is an extremely important step. This is going to help you clarify the direction of the video and will also help you create something that will actually resonate with this specific audience. The next thing is how. Now you need to start putting it all together. So how are you actually going to make the video? The first thing is you're going to want to create a script. This is script writing tips. So some script writing tips. First is set up a challenge. So introduce your product as the solution to whatever is challenging your audience. And you'll probably get a better idea of this by, identifying the target audience and understanding what's happening with them, getting your finger on the pulse of what's going on with your actual customers. The next thing is you're going to speak directly to them. Again, like a tip I already mentioned, don't use jargon or language that they're not going to understand. If they don't talk to them about your product the way they talk about your product, not the way that you talk about your product inside of, your office. Talk to them about how they talk about the product. The other thing is talk about the benefits, not the features. People don't care about the features. They care about the benefits. The other thing is stay singularly, why is that word hard to say? Take three. Singularly focused. Your video should have one specific theme. Don't try to put everything in the kitchen sink inside of one video. Make multiple videos. If you want to talk about something that's a little bit more complex or has a lot of different components to it, make multiple videos. It's going to be easier that way. You don't want to confuse or overwhelm your audience. You want to keep it super simple and singularly focused. The last thing on this is have a compelling call to action. This is what I call your spiller, because now that you've created a sense of reciprocity inside of the video, you're going to ask your viewer to take action. This should relate back to your original goal. So depending on what your original goal was, building brand awareness, product awareness, generating leads, or just explaining features, you're going to have calls to actions that could be, hey, call us, download something for free, buy something, go somewhere, go to some link, go to your website, go to your Instagram account, whatever the case may be, or subscribe to my YouTube channel or subscribe to my newsletter.
I love it. And a lot of times they forget the call to action. I love that you said benefits over features.
Yes.
And I like to tell my clients, think of Popeye and spinach. You're not selling the spinach. You're selling the muscles that Popeye gets after he eats the spinach.
Yeah, people are selfish. They care about their problems, not your problems.
They do. And it works no matter what business you're in. It's like, remember the benefits. Yeah. That's a good one. Oh my gosh, Holly, you are so full of wisdom to help us here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I told you I could talk about video all day long.
Yeah, and you're good at it. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here with us. So tell us, where can we find you?
So I am on all the socials at Holly G Studios. I like to hang out on Instagram. I do Instagram stories daily, or you can come on over to hollygstudios.com.
Awesome.
Holly G VIP Insider.
When's the next time you're doing your challenge we can all join?
I am doing another challenge in October. This is the Makeover Your YouTube channel.
Ooh, I'm going to need that one.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll look forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
Thank you. You're awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening to Product Biz Made Easy podcast. Now, don't forget to hop on over to BeckyJAnderson.com and grab your free strategy roadmap, as well as check out all the resources and things that there are over there to help you grow your product-based business. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody.